Ryan, have you heard of gas?
I use gas every day.
Okay.
My car, at my house.
Sure. Absolutely.
Um,
That's good. These are all accepted usages. I'm looking for maybe the third or fourth or fifth definition of it,
okay,
which
that's sort of
is
the extent of my knowledge of the
the
word.
the next hit social media platform. Ryan.
The next hit social media platform.
That's right.
I thought
Gas.
that was Be Real. Maybe I'm behind the
No, Be Real
times.
is old.
Be Real
It's
sold
old.
now.
It's all about gas
It's
now.
all about
It's
gas.
all about
Okay,
we're gassing up.
what is
Forget
gas?
about the green energy
What
movement.
is
We're
gas?
gassing up.
Tell me.
It's so it just got bought by Discord. That's how I found out about it.
Oh, okay.
Bought
I
by
know that.
Discord. Okay, sure. Define Discord. No. Yeah, so
That's what I'm feeling
gas.
right now.
Basically, you're feeling Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. If I didn't know if you were feeling gas or not.
Sure.
But anyway, so yeah, gas is this platform for I think it's targeted for high school students, maybe younger, hard to
Okay.
tell. And basically I've never used it. Okay.
You're not a high school student.
I'm not a high school student, so that might be illegal. I'm not sure.
Sure.
But basically, it's like the way it was described to me was an anonymous platform where you can compliment your friends. Now, my question is, how does that not go off the rails immediately? And the answer to that is that it's all poll based. So it's kind of like a superlative kind of situation, like who
Okay.
is most likely to go to jail, that sort of thing, except compliments.
Yeah.
And you pick a person that associates it. I don't really know the logistics of it.
You're not on
Can you
it.
just pick anyone? Does it give you a selection of 4 different people? I don't know. But basically, yeah, it's this, that's kind of the gist of it. And the idea behind the name is that you're gassing
You're
up
gassing them up.
your peers.
Makes sense.
As the young kids say.
You know,
or you're putting gas in
I
their
didn't know
tank.
what it was called, but I've heard of this app.
Okay. I think it had some predecessors.
I'm not hip on the slang
Yeah.
of all that,
Yeah.
but I have heard of this, and I did hear that it was a hot new app.
Yeah.
There was a hot new app about
Might explode.
being positive on the internet, which I'm not sure what that's all about.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I've endured a lot of the negatives of social media thus far.
So you want to make sure that continues to the next generations. Yes. I feel that. But anyway, the thing about this, which you look at the screenshots of it, I was reading an article about it, and it's an anonymous platform, but you can pay for information about who selected you because it notifies you when people select you for different superlatives or for different polls.
But it's anonymous at the free tier.
I guess so. And you got to pay for information. It's the information economy right here. And it's just, I'm sure the kids love it because it kind of preys on insecurities and whatnot.
I guess.
It from the outside looking in, it's like, is this really what we're putting our developers' minds towards? Because you look at the screenshots and it's like you pay some money and then it's like a 9th grade boy gassed you up. And so it's like, really? This is what we're doing?
Yeah.
It feels like they're trying to facilitate kind of those crush conversations where you're like, hey, friend, can you go tell this girl that I like her? Except the friend goes, hey, I can, but you're going to have to give me money for that. That sort of thing is what it feels like.
That's a better system for
exactly.
The maybe this is designed to drive up some competition in that area.
I could see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see your point there. I also see that, it is largely a positive service that's, probably making people feel better in some capacity. It probably wouldn't be the greatest feeling if you wake up to zero gas or something.
You're at an empty tank right now.
You're running on empty,
yeah,
buddy. You haven't received any gas for months now.
Yeah. You need to start thinking about going electric.
Maybe if that happens, they start implementing some artificial intelligence gas that will just distribute gas to people that are lacking.
You pay a little bit of money and it says a robot gassed you up. You're like, all right, well, that's not as good. I heard Biden had that like strategic oil reserve. So that's probably kind of a similar system to what they'll implement, kind of a strategic gas reserve.
Kind of giving out gas to the people that need it the most, the communities with the least kind of positive compliments being given out.
I do think it keeps track. You get points when you get voted for.
Oh, there's levels.
So it's a real popularity contest.
Sure.
To somewhat the fullest extent.
I'm sure you can kind of put on different awards that you've been given for
For
how
sure.
many gas you've got, how much gas you're at.
Yes,
I'm at 3 full tanks by now or something like that.
exactly.
Maybe.
Something like
Some
that.
ideas for the developers if they haven't already implemented it. I don't
Right.
know. I am
Yeah.
looking for a job, but
Yeah.
put
Hey,
that out there.
gas Discord if you're looking for people. I am open to be hired. Good stuff. Speaking of social media stuff, I was we were doing the Rake School interview day today.
Right. You got your
having
name tag on.
having the young I do, just in case you don't know my name. I just want people to know, you know. But anyway, and I was helping out with this session. They got different sessions going on to learn about what we got going on here. And one of the sessions is about the curriculum that we've got. And that one it's led by the director of our school, but then they have some students there to mostly stand there and be quiet,
Sure.
but occasionally answer questions
Right.
on the rare occasion that they do actually come. But anyway, this is the second time now that I've heard the director talking about kind of our social media strategy. This was answering a question, I think. This wasn't part of the curriculum, but
And you're a key part of the social media strategy.
I do
as
run
well.
the social media accounts. I do run that, which would have been a good fun fact to give for the session. Instead, I just kind of stood there like, fun fact. Didn't see this coming.
Fun fact, we don't have a strategy.
Fun fact, no strategies are had here. We just kind of go guns
We
a-blazing.
go with the flow,
I
which
did.
is to say that we've got a new gas account. So.
Yeah, we're gassing up.
Yep.
We'll gas you up if you apply here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We
we
only
will
accept
actually,
applicants with at least 4 full tanks of gas.
yeah. Interview question: how much gas do you have right now? Anyway, I was actually kind of wanting to ask the students if any of them had the app,
Really?
but I didn't get
But
around
I
to
figured
it.
that was not appropriate.
Yeah. Then they told me, no, you can't do that. What I ended up using as the fun fact was that I run a podcast with my friend Ryan.
Seriously?
And we met in Design Studio. So,
Wow, that's incredible.
So
And you
to
just
any new
Name
listeners,
drop the
welcome.
podcast, and you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, on
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find a podcast, really.
Yeah, just any of those where you can find us there. Over 30 5-star reviews on Spotify. So
Yeah.
bump those numbers up.
Crazy.
Unfortunately,
Am
he only did the fun fact for the first session. After that, he shut that down. So I don't know if Steve liked the free.
Yeah, maybe not.
He didn't really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, he was talking about the social media strategy for the Rake School. And he's like, mentioning TikTok and whatnot. He's like, TikTok and be real. Be real is where it's at. And this is the second time that he's brought it up. First time he went more in depth and being like, TikTok is dead. Nobody's on TikTok anymore. They're all on Be
It's
Real.
all over.
They're all on Be Real. Like, well, I don't know.
I'm sure TikTok's profit numbers would disagree with you.
I would say Be Real's profit numbers would disagree.
Sure. I'm not sure how much profit they're making.
Or even active users. I've heard like 80% of people don't do it on a daily basis. And I'm constitute part of that.
I'm also part of that 80%.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if Be Real is really where the Rake School is not.
Is that also part of the? Yeah, was that part of the Rake School?
We don't currently have an account.
strategy, so that's why I'm confused. Why he brought it up?
He wants it to
he
be
wants
a thing.
one.
Yes, he wants a Rake School.
Who would be running that? Just
No
the
idea.
building would be taking photos of itself, or
Something
what?
like that.
It'd be the
Selfies
same
of
thing every day.
Yeah, selfies of the building, something like that. I think it's an interesting idea, but I just don't think that people would follow.
I'm not sure how it would work.
Okay.
Because for one,
Mhm.
is this like you're trading off the account every day so a different student has it? Because
Could be.
if it's just the same person every day, that's not the Rake School Be Real. That's that students Be Real.
Yeah,
every
representing
day.
the Rake School.
The other thing is, like what I was saying before, how many different photos are you getting just in this building doing, a variety of things?
Yeah,
In the
Being
study
real.
room, in my dorm,
that sort of thing.
in the great hall.
Yeah, probably not great.
So I mean,
and then as for the TikTok, because we also don't have a TikTok, as far as
Sure.
I know.
well, you do run the account, so
You would hope that I would know, but
Yeah.
I don't. Who knows? Steve might have set something up
Maybe.
on his own. He might have an
Then
account.
maybe that's why he thinks it's dead.
Is because no one is liking or watching. Yeah, I don't know. What he put forth, because someone questioned him on it. He's like, well, what would we put on TikTok? And I actually think there are some interesting things put on TikTok as far as this goes. Is like, I think there you could answer questions of high school computer science students, potentially give some advice, give some insights
So
and
you
whatnot.
put some thought in.
I have, yes. Steve also has. His suggestion was students dancing. That's what TikTok is about.
It is a lot of dancing.
And that's how we're going to bring people in, Ryan. We want good dance professionals.
It seems like a lot of those students would be attracted to probably Juilliard,
Sure.
other schools of that nature.
Potentially. I have heard a lot of the TikTokers are going, the TikTok to Juilliard kind of pipeline is strong.
Dancers in general.
We do have one of the people on the UNL dance team, the Scarlets, is in ranks. So
well, there you go.
We could get her on there. Outside of that, and including that, interview day went well. Interview days, and helping out with the curriculum session. Although it has opened my eyes to what it's like to be a teacher, and maybe the downfalls of that, the downsides at least. Because I've considered, I think teaching would be a cool profession. Sure, yes, I didn't get paid at all for this, and that was a downside.
That's ridiculous.
I've thought about being a teacher. I think it would be cool. Still considering, maybe not right away, but eventually.
Especially considering you've accepted a job offer.
Sure, that would be a limit. Yeah, that would limit things for sure. I'm really waiting for that minimum wage for teachers bill to go into place, and then I'll go into that. But yeah, the thing that really is kind of a downer is when you are hearing the same thing being said over and over throughout the day, as is the case in high school. You got different classes that are the same. Mm-hmm. You got to say the same thing over and over. It's like, this is kind of getting a bit repetitive.
Yeah, the monotony.
Yeah. As a student, you don't recognize that.
Sure, you're only hearing it once.
Yeah. And Steve did a great job. He's very enthusiastic. I enjoyed getting to see the parts where if you just hear it once, you're like, oh, like he's just making stuff up at this point. But then it's like he has the same kind of, the same kind of time. He's got the comedic timing down. He's a stand-up comic at this rate. He would go through this thing where he would pretend to forget what purple is in the rainbow, what comes after blue in the rainbow. He would do the Roy G. Biv thing.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty standard.
Whole kind of bit. And so that was fun. The first time you hear it, you're like, oh, Steve. And then the next time you're like, oh,
prankster.
This is
that you're doing it again.
Yeah. But anyway, so something to reconsider.
Maybe you actually forgot.
You might. I mean, that's always a possibility.
How else has your week been? You came back to me. You came back.
I did. Return of the King.
You're in Lincoln now.
Yeah. Back to a home, some would say.
I'm looking behind you. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's snowing pretty substantially out there.
Something fierce. Say. Okay.
Some more snow.
Yeah.
Guess I'm shoveling later.
Yeah, might need to wrap this up quick.
So let's get this going.
Yeah. But it was a little disconcerting because we had snow earlier in the week, Wednesday or so. And so I came to Lincoln before that to try to avoid going off the road, for example, that sort of thing. But I ended up facing another potentially greater danger, which was the snow falling off of the roof as it melts later in the week. So you get these huge sheets of ice and snow falling 3 stories. And it's like, that's a real danger.
9.8 meters per second.
That's concerning. I mean, I was in my room for almost all of the days. Yes. And so that wasn't a big, I was safe and sound, but it was mostly the auditory.
Several other people were severely injured.
Right.
Wow.
And you almost wonder if the roof's coming down.
Yeah.
And to an extent it is, but.
Okay. I would imagine that is a danger. I was not anywhere near this building.
Okay. Yes.
During that time.
Yeah.
Although I was shoveling snow outside of my home.
Sure. You put the LLC to work.
I did.
Snow shoveling. But my week has been good.
Good. Everything
went well on the drive back. Nothing too notable there, I would say.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. I guess before I came back, this was actually before we recorded last week, but just to bring it back in, had some sibling events that I participated in, so to speak, which is to say I met up with my siblings.
Okay.
Going back, they're both in Kansas City. So my last opportunities to see them for a while. Yeah, for maybe ever. So yeah, I got some coffee with my sister. So second coffee, pretty good. Had a little caramel, had a little butter pecan action. Not bad. Pretty tasty.
That doesn't sound good to me, but
well,
what do I know?
Have you ever had a butter pecan?
A buttered pecan?
Well, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what it is.
So
I can't speak to whether it's.
I'm sure I've had pecans before. I'm not sure if
which are pretty good.
there was butter on them or not.
That's what I don't know. Is
it its own kind of pecan?
I don't
or
know.
Is it just
its own kind of
with
butter?
I would say that would probably be called pecan butter.
Probably.
No.
Although that also sounds pretty good.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know if you just put some butter on pecans and then you call it a day or what, but
yeah.
All I know is that it tastes pretty good. I will say, last time I had coffee, I had the mocha Starbucks. Again,
yeah,
big monumental moment. I'm sure everyone remembers. Last time, wasn't really feeling it, but I got the small version and it's like, I don't know. This time, could have been a number of factors, but I was feeling something. That is for sure. I was feeling quite
caffeinated.
Maybe a bit. Heart was beating a little bit. Feeling particularly warm. Feeling I had to take off my coat. Was it a hot
drink?
It was.
Warm, like nauseously warm? Nauseatingly warm?
Well, it's an interesting descriptor. I don't know if I would use that per se, but maybe. I mean, I was concerned.
Uncomfortably warm. Or more just disconcertingly warm.
Disconcertingly warm. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that just to kind of stop the adjective
end the list of adjectives.
Yeah, we'd have to break out the thesaurus after too much more. But yeah, I don't know exactly what I was feeling. It could have been just the space around me. I couldn't tell if it was an internal or an external warmth.
It was very warm. There was a space heater to my right.
Yeah, there was raging fire. Yeah, the building was actually just on fire, and that was
not to mention my extremely hot coffee that I was ingesting.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it was the coffee.
Okay. I would say that's a good place to start.
Yeah, I would say so.
And you didn't like it?
No, I thought it was good.
No, you liked the warmth.
Oh, the warmth I did not like. Okay. The coffee was good though.
Great.
But if it was a side effect of the coffee, maybe that is.
Well, might I suggest cold coffee next time you?
You might suggest that.
All right. I will.
Yeah, that's another avenue that I haven't gotten into. Cold brew, iced coffee. Yeah, different things, but
then you might get too cold.
Maybe.
I think
disconcertingly cold.
Kind of need to take a page out of the Goldilocks book and find something just right.
Yeah, a lukewarm coffee.
Yes.
How does that sound? That sounds pretty good.
It doesn't sound good to me, but
I mean, you could probably achieve that effect. But
I'm sure you could just get a warm coffee and let it sit out for a while,
or get a cold coffee and let it warm up.
Yeah, it's crazy how temperature works, guys.
Yeah, we're figuring out some pretty crazy things here. But anyway, that was event number 1. Event number 2 was a trivia night called Intelligence Check. Stumbled over that. Intelligence check.
Yep.
Might need
you might need an intelligence check.
Pronunciation check is what we needed to do right there. But yeah, so we went to it's kind of like it's just a bar trivia kind of thing. Goes around to different bars, kind of a traveling salesman of sorts, but go in and it got a nice little interactive element. I mean, I guess all trivia is. It is. Yeah. It is.
So in this trivia, basically one person would ask the questions, and then the different teams would try to answer the questions.
This is
sort of an
part.
Interactive kind of call and response format.
Yeah, the fun part is that you actually get to participate. Like you get to, if you know the answer, you get to put it down.
My siblings actually let me play this time.
You know, it's
different
new,
from most trivias.
It's new for me, but yeah, it's a good time.
Well, that's great. How'd you do?
We did decent.
Not to get ahead of your story, but
right. No, you don't need to get ahead here. We did pretty well. I mean, I think we ended up middle of the pack, I would say. I believe the official score was 26 out of 40. We got correct.
More than 50%.
Yeah. That's
Just
what more can you
a
ask for?
quick calculation.
What more can you ask for? Me personally, uh,
You weren't
I
impressed
would
with your own
I
score.
I think I've got room for improvement. Let's just
Sure.
say that. Let's just say that. I did help out with
14.
some. Particularly, they had a section called 8-bit bops, where they take popular songs, or in this case, it was a lot of like popular 80s music, and then they did it in the style of like a retro video game.
Okay.
Well, 8-bit song. That's where I was going with the interactive portion of it, which
Sure.
isn't really interactive, but it's just
Yeah.
a different style than
Yeah.
just
It's innovative, maybe.
yeah. They are innovating the game of trivia, and got some of those, which is more than I can say for
You got
other
a hot streak.
categories. Yeah, exactly. I would say where we really went poorly was name that Pokemon, given
Oh
that
no.
almost all of us had never played Pokemon before.
Sure.
That's limitation.
I'm with you there. I've also never played Pokemon.
There you go.
A lot of my friends have played. I distinctly remember one time talking with some of my friends and they asked me to name 10 Pokemon.
Okay.
And
What'd you do?
I struggled through that
Yeah.
for about a good 20 minutes.
Well, that's
And I
better
think
than
I only got 8.
okay.
So, and the first one I'm saying is Pikachu.
Absolutely. You gotta say that first.
How did you think you could name 10 Pokemon?
I think I could name
I think I could
5.
now,
Okay.
but I definitely couldn't before.
I definitely got some through osmosis from the Pokemon Go era, because that was more when I was around people that were playing it.
Sure.
I kind of distanced myself from the Pokemon folks back in the day when I was
Okay.
when I was a kid. I mean, they just didn't talk about it. They tried to keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
For fear of bullying or whatnot. I don't know. Nowadays, I think I could name 5 for sure.
All right. Let's hear them.
We got Pikachu.
Okay. Great.
We got Geodude.
Nice.
We got Meowth.
Great. Are these all the ones from the trivia?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I don't even remember the ones from the trivia.
Great.
Oh, we got Charizard. We got Squirtle.
Nice.
Bang.
That is 5. Those are probably 5 of
Charmander.
that.
That's a 6.
Well, that's Charizard kind of. So
but not
doesn't
really
count.
No, they're different though. Because you had to name the specific one.
That's fair. I think when I did my challenge, I couldn't name the different evolutions, if you will.
Well, that wouldn't even help me. So yeah, so that was a struggle. It was. I'll tell you what. There was someone there that could not name one. They did not even get Pikachu.
Not even Pikachu.
Yeah, because they missed all of the answers for that section. We got one. Shout out Jonathan. He's an in-law, so we acquired some amount of Pokemon knowledge that helped us out quite a bit.
That's great.
They got all the answers wrong, and another kind of twist that they've got on this game is if you get all the answers wrong in a category, you get to do an intelligence check, as they say. So you roll this massive 20-sided die, D&D style, and basically, however high of a number you get is however easy of a question it is. But you get to choose the category. So they go up, they roll, they get like arts and entertainment or something like that, or culture. I don't know. And they roll the dice, and then the question is a Pokemon specific question.
Oh my gosh.
On that. And so they really just got absolutely.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it was like, who's Pokemon number 152 or something, which they're even less likely to get.
No one, who is going to guess that?
I got close just because I have such a limited number that it was a chance. I would have said Meowth, and it was one of the other Meowths, whatever in that evolution.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Mew, I think is
Mew,
what
maybe?
it is. Or is that in the same generation?
I don't know. I really don't know. Listen, I will say that a little trick for you.
Okay.
For if you ever need to name Pokemon, is just remember Mew.
Okay.
And then you'll automatically get a second one because there's a Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. Now, if you think, oh, I can get a third, Mew 3 is not.
You need to stop while you're ahead.
Slow your roll. Yeah.
Bets. I've famously used that trick.
Okay.
So
name 2 Pokemon right now.
Name 2 Mew and Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. Yeah. Pika.
Don't ask me to name 2 more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not great. I guess I wasn't really a Nintendo kid growing up. I didn't have. Sure. Well, I mean, I guess I had a DS. I didn't use it a ton.
Okay.
And I had a Wii, but I was Pokemon even on the Wii? I don't think so.
We didn't have it. If so,
Um, so I never played Pokemon on. I never even had like the cards or anything.
yeah.
So, which by the way, like trading card games and stuff like that, where
Mhm.
did you ever do those?
Not I had quite the collection of baseball cards
Wow.
or football cards, sports cards in general, that I would get for Christmas, various holidays. But as for things that I could play with, no.
Sure.
No.
Me neither. I
Yeah.
don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Hey, we're on the same page. There we go.
I think my problem with the card games is trying to remember all the rules and like how
You got a limited memory.
yeah, like, it's like what I said. I don't even
Yeah.
remember what we were talking about 5 minutes ago.
Sure.
Trying to remember all the cards and what they all do and most of all how they interact with one another.
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking permutations on permutations.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the formula for permutations.
Yeah. And that's a requirement. Everyone who's played Pokemon knows the formula. That's for
So
sure.
don't ask me to ask what a water type does to a fire type. Like that's
Probably puts it
common
out
knowledge.
if I had to guess.
You would
But
think.
that's at least in the real world. That's what happens. When any type of water, it's any type of fire, typically.
I would argue that that's false in
Really?
a grease fire. So
Oh, there you go. The grease fire, the grease type, the grease type and the water type. It counteracts.
it really does.
Do you ever? This is a tangent. Do you ever
Sure.
play Little Alchemy?
Little Alchemy. Is
Yeah.
that Magic the Gathering for children?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's for the Little Alchemists. No, it's just it's an online game where you start with the basic
Turn-
elements:
Yeah, turn iron to gold.
hydrogen, helium, lithium, these sorts of things. Not those.
Is this like an educational kind of chemistry game or
No? Well, it's an educational for alchemists.
okay.
So you start with the earth, water, fire, land. Earth and land are the same thing. Air is the other one. And then it's an online game. I should say that. But
You did.
Okay. Well, I really should say that. So I just wanted to put that out there. But you combine these different things and you make new things. And you basically just try to make as many things as you can.
What are you talking about? What are you making?
As much as you can.
Are you making elements? Are you making
So like, for example, you combine earth and water, boom, you get mud.
Okay, that makes sense.
You put that in the chest.
You put
have
mud
that
and
available to
water
you.
together. You get more mud.
You get a muddier substance.
Sure.
You get a swamp, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
You combine mud and fire, you get clay.
Wow.
That sort of thing. And you try to work your way up. I don't know what the end goal is.
Me neither.
They probably didn't have an end goal, just to keep you on the site as long as
That makes
possible.
sense.
Probably,
As
I mean,
much
but
ad time as possible.
I don't know too much about alchemy, but I think that was all about gold.
I don't
right?
know too much either, except
Okay.
that it's not actually possible. So
Well, yeah. No, you're probably right.
yeah, I think. I mean, I think isn't the alchemist stone a thing?
Yeah.
They
I think
trying to
so.
turn
the
stuff into-
sorcerers,
yeah.
philosopher.
Philosopher's stone.
One of those. Philosophy is alchemy, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I think that's it. But anyway, that was a long way from where we started. But
And I don't remember where we started.
my trip back to Lincoln.
That's right.
You're
You're back.
In a much more real sense, the intelligence check trivia night
Yes.
is where we started from that. But yeah, so I'm back. Feels good. Feels better than ever. How are you feeling, Ryan?
I'm
on
feeling
this
great.
Snowy day.
I am feeling great. Back on campus for the first time since,
Since 22, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a whole year since I've been on campus.
Some would say.
And just ready to go,
Good.
Just ready to go.
Yeah.
I've been preparing for the semester.
My whole life.
I've been preparing my whole life to graduate from college. What can I say? It's our last semester. Better make the most of it.
That's
By
true.
that, I mean hunker down and finish out strong.
Yeah. Hunker down. Study up.
I've been looking at the syllabi
Yeah.
from my professors.
How's it looking?
It's not looking good.
Oh, okay. That's not great.
But at the end of the day, do I even need to take some of these classes? No. Will we be taking some of them pass, fail, / no pass?
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yes.
try to avoid failure at this university.
They really do.
Pass,
So they kind of
pass
put
or no pass.
a nice kind of gold lining on that.
Yeah.
But really, in a much more real sense, you are failing.
Yes.
So I might do that for one or two of my classes.
Sure.
But it's okay. It's
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna turn out.
I'm ready to today, not today. I
Mm.
mean today, but
Mm.
this semester is just going to be about knowledge. Okay.
Today is gonna be about knowledge.
It's like that YouTube video about knowledge.
Yeah, Ty Lopez.
Where's in the garage.
Shout out.
You're in my garage.
My garage.
Well, I'm here in the
Hollywood
study
Hills.
room
Yeah.
with Nathan, and I'm just ready to learn from my classes, which is something that you could arguably say has been done or not done.
Better revolutionize the school system here.
You would not believe what's happening to education.
This semester is gonna be different from all the other semesters in that I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna have knowledge.
And the good thing about that, well, I mean, what makes that possible is there's no conditions attached. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
So basically, I could fail all my classes and still
Okay.
graduate.
Is that so?
Yes.
Wow. That's huge for you.
Would I, not get my business minor?
Oh.
Would I not, graduate from the honors program?
Mm.
Yeah. These are all optional things.
Yeah.
It's not super important.
Yeah.
Some would say.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a no holds barred. If you catch my meaning,
I think so. Maybe.
And that phrase doesn't really apply here, but I just wanted to throw it.
I just wanted to put that out there.
It's just sort of a unconventional approach to schooling, which I think maybe education reformers could take a note from. Is when you drop all these fancy benchmarks and grades and commitment to the class, some people are just there to learn.
Some people, am I right?
Some people,
unbelievable.
Some people like me.
Oh, okay. Good. No, same. Yeah, I am feeling that. I have also been checking out the syllabi, trying to figure out which class I'm going to be staying in and which class I'm going to be dropping.
Sure.
And so we'll see how it goes. I'm considering dropping some before the semester even starts.
Wow.
So tough for them. Didn't even give them a chance.
Yeah, they were taking you for Twitter.
Yeah, well, you should have, because that's what I did last semester.
It's gonna happen.
Was I quit?
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, just one of my classes. But anyway, so yeah, it's new semester coming up. It's feeling good. I'm experiencing some changes. I'll say that. Don't know how I feel about them. So I obviously had
happens in middle school.
Well, hey, we're the second wind, some would say.
Okay.
Yeah, we stocked up on some snacks. This was mostly, again, in preparation for the storm. Coming on Tuesday, storm's coming on Wednesday. I don't know how bad this is going to be.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to you.
You're going to have to take shelter.
As I mentioned to you. Hey, there might be 5 inches, 6 inches.
Inches of snow.
You might be snowed in.
You might not be able to open your door.
I'm inside, but yeah. I'm on the second floor. Who knows what's going to happen?
I could jump out a window, but you might be done for.
I might be.
You did seem pretty worried, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But was the worry unwarranted?
It was warranted, but was it fulfilled? No, it was not. In that we got maybe an inch, maybe 2.
Maybe an inch that didn't melt upon impact.
Yes, right.
There was probably, maybe like 3 inches, but 2 of those inches were immediately dissolved upon hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And there was maybe an inch left over.
So that's kind of what ended up happening. But again, I don't know that. I haven't even looked at my weather app.
You've got to plan for all possible scenarios.
Exactly. Who knows?
You're a strategist.
It might be Sharknado, that sort of thing. And so what I did was I stopped by the grocery store, loaded up. Ryan,
you're grabbing everything.
I'm full cart. Not actually full cart.
This is reminiscent of pandemic era shopping.
Yeah.
I took all the toilet paper.
Yeah. We're out. We're out of it.
The most useful currency.
Yes, exactly. Which, speaking of which, I went to Super Saver. Door was locked.
Both of them.
Did I mention this? I think I already told you about this. But I've gotten multiple texts from people telling me the explanation for the doors being locked.
What is it?
Well, they actually just told me that one of the doors was locked, but the other one is open. That's what they told me.
Yeah, you did tell me that part.
I think what I figured out was...
Well, you said that you thought it might be like a maintenance thing with the money. You don't think that's that anymore?
I specifically said that surely it's not that, but that's what I could think of.
I am serious.
Yeah. Okay. What I actually think it is it's probably a shoplifting deterrent
Shoplifting turn.
to,
Okay.
to
Okay.
limit the number of exits that people can go out.
Gotcha.
Not so much the entrances, which is what,
Okay.
because the exit is open. And so I was thinking of it, silly me, from the point of view that they're shutting down the entrance. But what I think they're doing is they're shutting down an exit that they don't want people to take.
Gotcha.
But I
They've
don't know.
kind of created an artificial choke point
Exactly.
of which they can
They
easily
probably-
execute a pincer maneuver
Yes.
and secure any shoplifting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have you ever seen Tenet?
That's good strategy.
It's kinda-
I have not,
It's kind of similar to that.
I would imagine it is. If I had seen it, I would probably agree with you.
I actually watched it upon coming. I went-
Okay.
oh my goodness.
Was that in preparation to go to the grocery store and just make sure that you knew what you were doing?
Yeah, I executed the temporal pincer maneuver. That's super saver.
They never saw it coming.
Yeah.
Just to them, it didn't happen.
I went a little crazy on the movies upon coming back, and I'm not super proud of that. I watched probably about 4 movies in 2 days.
Wow.
Just when you have
Somebody
access,
stop this, man.
when you have access to the RHA movie channel.
Yeah, I was going to say,
You
this
can
was
go
most
crazy.
likely on the free RHA movie channel.
Absolutely. University condoned or sponsored. So went a bit crazy on that. But anyway, yes. So I watched Tenet, get the temporal pincer movement down, go to Super Saver, and load up on the essentials. We're talking peanut butter.
Of course.
We're talking
You're just eating it.
paper plates. We're talking
Sure.
3 pounds of hot and spicy buffalo chicken bites that are frozen.
It's pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I'll
you had
I'll
them?
admit it. Yeah.
Okay.
I have had them.
I haven't had them, and that's good to know that they
You
won't
got
be
3
bad.
packs and you've never had them
Three-
before?
Hey, we needed to be prepared for any scenario.
We need to be
And-
prepared just in case I actually like these.
Yeah.
Okay. But in the case that I didn't like them, which was also kind of likely, then
Yeah, we
I
would have
would've
been out of
had
luck.
2 extra packs, which I would not have been
Not
able to
3
return.
packs, 3 pounds.
3 pounds?
Yes, yeah.
I
Yes.
feel like that's still a lot.
Probably more than 3 packs,
Probably.
depending on how much a pack is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just figured this seemed like the best way to go. And do I stand by that? Not really, but I
Good.
wanted something frozen so that I didn't have to eat it right away. So that's step 1. Step 2 is
I want a little flavor.
sure. Step
Sure.
2 is
I
basically
didn't have any other steps.
what seems economically significant, not significant, what did I
Viable.
say?
Economically feasible?
Sure, I don't know. They're all economically feasible. Run it in the card.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I was looking for bulk. It's bulking season, right?
Okay.
And I don't know. It just seemed like the thing to do. And in hindsight, I don't know if I stand by that.
I think the word you meant was just economic.
Sure, that's great. I didn't even need the second word.
Yeah.
That's economical right there, cutting down
Right.
on words. So anyway, now I long story short, didn't get snowed in, ended up going out and getting food.
Got more food.
Well, I just for dinner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't utilize that. So now I still have 3 pounds, and we'll see if we can chip away at that throughout the
Oh, no.
semester. You're more than welcome to some if
I've
you
got
want.
my own.
Okay.
I didn't get as much as you did, so maybe I
Well.
will take you up on that because
If you ever need a
I
refill,
typically
I've got
don't
you.
buy 3 pounds at once. Maybe
Yeah.
I should since I do actually like them.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll try them out. If I don't like them, you might be having 2.9 pounds of
Great.
of buffalo
only
chicken
1
bites
pound.
heading your way. That wasn't actually where I was planning on going with that, with the changes.
I would
I'm
imagine.
experiencing changes. I also stopped by the C-store, convenience store, also called Herbie's Market. Not a great name, but got to make sure you pronounce that correctly. And I picked up some trail mix.
Okay.
And when you think of trail mix, you think of the good stuff, the nuts, the M&Ms, and then you've got the
Most.
subpar raisins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. No
Yeah.
one likes the raisins. Why
Sure.
are they even in there? Ugh. But let me tell you, these times they are a changing because I've been getting a craving for
A
raisins.
craving for raisin.
Craving for raisins. And I don't know where it came from. Might be pregnant. We'll see.
Maybe.
These sorts of things happen, but yeah, it's a little bit concerning, but at the same time, I'm trying to enjoy it while I can. There's not much I can do about it, I would say.
Listen, I'm with you. 100%.
You also have a craving for raisins.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I've never understood the hate on raisins. I
Sure.
think they're misunderstood.
Yeah.
Personally.
Sure.
People say they love grapes. All right. They
Yeah.
love them. They can't get enough of them. They eat them up.
Yeah.
I eat them up. I love them.
Yeah.
You had a whole fruit party.
I did.
Not too long ago.
I did. And
That
I ate
was
them
actually a
up
while
then.
ago. You did.
While being, at the time, a self-reporter, potentially, I don't know if I would say hate,
Sure.
but a disliker of
disliker.
raisins.
Raisins, as I hope everyone knows, are just dried grapes.
Sure.
Okay.
Look,
I hate
I'm gonna
to
have to break
it
this
to you.
Yeah, this is.
It's what you've been dreading.
Yeah.
And, is the water a big part of a grape? I would say it's probably most of it.
Yeah, almost certainly.
But
given the size comparison. Yeah.
Just consider this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You're overhydrated.
Yeah.
But
I've been there. I've been there. I'll tell you what.
But you want a grape.
Yeah.
Except you can't eat any of the grapes because if you do, you're just going to burst. I don't know. I don't know what happens if you're overhydrated.
It's like, have you ever seen Willy Wonka?
I have.
Yeah.
I think that was about blueberries though.
Well, same concept.
So what do you do? Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
You eat a raisin.
You eat a raisin.
Boom, turns into a grape.
Sure.
You hydrate the raisin.
Exactly. Where I was going with that.
Yes.
Anyway, I just love raisins.
You love raisins.
I mean, I'll eat them up. There's not much else to say about them.
Grapes.
Not much else to say about food that you love rather than go just eat them up.
Eat them up.
It's just a nice little,
you put raisins in front of me?
What is a raisin?
Right.
Okay. It's a very small
grape.
It's less than a finger food.
It's like a travel size grape.
It really is. I mean, I would say most grapes are travel size.
It's like, have you seen a vacuum sealed like pillows or beds, that sort of thing?
Vacuum sealed beds?
Yeah, like those mail order beds, like Casper. Not a sponsor.
It's a mattress, right?
That's what I meant.
Okay.
What's the difference, really? What's a bed if not a mattress?
I would say okay.
I'll eat them up. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, travel size, bite size grapes. Really, you could
bite
say.
Size, I think.
Yeah, is the best. And I think that something that really is pretty magical about it. Most foods, you leave them out in the sun, they're going bad. Grapes, some would say they're going bad, but in a much more real sense, they're okay to eat, and that's what really counts.
Yeah, that's where they're thriving.
Yeah,
how they're formed, really.
I would say so. Now, I will say, I haven't had the like sun-made raisins. I feel like those are the raisins. Like those are the raisins.
The raisins.
Which shout out to them for that, I guess. I don't know if I'm on board with those. We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe we won't because I probably won't be buying them. But I feel like those. I think my problem with raisins is they've got a weird taste to them, in general, or they used to. Maybe I'm over that. Maybe I'm past that. And I feel like I still associate with the sun-made. But whatever raisins they put in here, they're a little bit plumper. They're like not quite.
Okay.
They're like raisins, but like they stopped them. They stopped them a little. You put them in the microwave and then you stop them at like 3. You know, which is how raisins are made.
Yes.
I think. So I really am appreciating that. Gained a new appreciation in life, and we're opening.
I'm really glad you're expanding your palate in such dramatic and new ways.
I know no one saw it coming. No one thought I could get to this point.
I think I'm most surprised that you're purchasing trail mix from the convenience store.
Why is that?
I wouldn't say that I would eat trail mix just as a general snack. Trail mix is more of a travel food.
All right. Sure. Maybe.
And I just, that's
more of a travel food, but like a snack though.
Sure. I mean, it's definitely not a meal by any means, but it's more of something that I would eat like on a car trip or on a hike or because I go on a lot of hikes, obviously, and I do camping.
Yeah, I've known that about you. So like for a car trip, for example, it's like when you're sitting down and you have this.
Sure.
Similar to like sitting down in my room.
Not really.
Like, what's the fundamental difference here?
I guess the fundamental difference is that they're bite-sized, like snacks. Like
That's
it's
what
just
I look
something
for
that
in a snack.
It's something you pour into your hand to eat.
Okay.
That's I think the distinguishing factor.
And are you plating your snacks or
I'll bowl them.
you bowl them? Okay.
Um,
I could bowl trail mix any day of the week.
I certainly could, and I'm not going to stop you either.
Okay.
And please don't let me stop you.
What are you saying? Is it not a travel snack or a regular snack?
Well, a travel snack is, I think that's the biggest thing to me, is that it's something that you can just pour into your hand and just eat from your hand, and you're not going to like make a mess all over your hand. Or
It's
like,
perfect. I don't. What I look for in snacks is not something that's going to make a mess, personally. But
sure.
maybe you look for a mess when you look for snacks.
When I say make a mess, okay, so here's an example: Doritos.
Yeah.
That
Great snack.
to me is something that'll make a mess.
Sure.
Because you're getting cheese dust all over. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not something I would eat out of my hands. I would put that in a bowl. Or I would eat it out of the bag.
And then bowl to hand kind of situation.
Sure, but then I'm not getting it all over my palm or my.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm acting this out for you.
You see that? There's dust there if there's Doritos.
I don't understand why this is so hard to get across to you.
I just don't think that you're right.
You just don't think I'm right. Okay.
I agree it's a travel snack, but I don't think that eliminates it from being a non-travel snack.
It doesn't eliminate it, but I
also you started this out by saying I don't know why you're buying travel or trail mix from a convenience store.
Well, I just meant I don't get why you're buying trail mix.
Okay.
From the convenience store. Not that would be a place to buy trail mix, but that there are a lot of other options at the convenience store.
I see. Okay.
That you could buy.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as Herbie's Market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just would rather eat something else, like, something that something more substantial, a more substantial snack than trail mix. Trail mix to me is not super substantial.
Don't know about that one.
What's substantial about it? It's nuts and
yes.
M&Ms and raisins. Like, I get that those are all together. Like, if you had
it's definitely more substantial than Doritos. Are you kidding?
I would totally disagree with that. I mean, when I say substantial?
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
how much trail mix are you eating at one time? This is what we really need.
Substantial amount of trail mix.
Then that changes everything. If you're eating entire packets of trail mix at once, then that's
probably a half a packet.
That is
depending on how much is a packet. I'm not just eating a handful and calling it good.
All right, I don't know,
but I feel like
I don't know what the measurement size is.
I feel like you take the same volume of trail mix and of Doritos. The trail mix is definitely more substantial. Got more protein, which I think is pretty much the definition of substantial because that's what makes you feel full. Is protein.
Well, I mean, makes you feel full. I think that's fiber.
Maybe that too. Got more fiber. I don't actually know if it has more fiber. I don't even know what fiber is.
Corn chips.
Seems like we all have fiber. But okay, whatever. I don't know. It's probably a combination of things that makes you feel full, which also would be found. You have a combination of things in trail mix. But anyway, more protein, more calories, probably. Maybe not.
I would
Doritos
doubt that.
I've heard trail mix is highly calorie intensive.
Well, I mean, I would imagine that it is in some capacity. The thing about trail mix is it's travel food because it's meant to be in small portions.
It's meant to be substantial in small amounts.
Yes, substantial in small amounts because people are using it, on like hikes and stuff like that. Yeah. Because nobody wants to eat that on a regular basis. It's not. Where's the flavor? Where's the?
What do you mean? Where's the flavor? It's in the raisins. I don't know. I disagree with you. Let's just say that.
All right. I disagree with you too. I'll say that
look,
as well.
I like Doritos.
I do too.
But
I like trail
mix. Substantial than trail mix.
All right.
Look, I think we've gone on long enough about trail mix.
I think we have as well.
Probably too long. Probably cut some of this.
I would agree.
But
good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, can we just move on?
Sure.
Okay.
Nathan, I went to a board game cafe the other day.
No, here in Lincoln?
Not here in Lincoln, in the Big O.
The Big
which is Omaha, if you recall that conversation from a while ago. It was called Spielbound.
Spielbound.
Yes. That's with an I.
It's a German. I-E, presumably. German.
Yes.
I've heard about this, but I've never been. How was it?
It was great. I would recommend it.
Okay.
You do have to pay.
Yeah.
It's I think it was like $7, but then you don't have to leave, or at least
Wow.
you don't have to leave until 2 in the morning. Which I didn't stay that long,
That's not bad.
but they certainly won't kick you out, and they've got everything. Let me tell you,
Seriously.
they've got.
Coca-Cola.
I mean, I presumably I
Okay.
didn't order any drinks or food or anything like that,
Sure.
but they've got kind of a little cafe area
Mhm.
for, like I said, drinks and food.
Drinks and food.
And then they've also got a whole back room full of board games
Take 'em out
with a
back.
line in the walls. They've
Mhm.
also got kind of a front area where I think you can purchase board games because they're all shrink wrapped. But anyway, went there with a few friends,
Mhm.
played just all manner of board games.
Sure.
Do you play?
Board games?
Yeah.
I have in the past.
Okay.
I'm not a prolific board gamer. I'll say that. There's kind of a whole genre, not genre. The board games are the genre.
Industry?
Yeah, they're really revolutionizing things now. I feel like my good friend Caleb has been big into board games in the past. I guess I can't speak for right now, but yeah, I mean they got one-use board games. You got things where you play a game and then you build onto it. Board. I don't know. I don't even know good enough to explain anything.
Sure.
But I might be a teacher.
Evidently.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot going on in this space, but I'm not keeping up.
There's
at all.
there's a lot of creativity, a lot of expansion in the space.
About as far as I go with board game innovation is Monopoly Electronic Banking Edition. That's revolutionary right there.
Sure.
You don't have to count the money.
There's a lot of different solutions in the board gaming space.
Yeah.
I would say.
For sure. What kind of solutions did you explore?
We started off with a classic.
Okay.
It's about a few acquaintances that gather in a mansion and try to solve a murder.
Okay.
Sherlock. They kind of try to gather clues. They use clues to solve the murder.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about kind of using clues in your investigation.
Okay. Sure.
It's Clue.
Oh.
So we played Clue. I lost both times. But
How
I got
do you
close.
That? You're the murderer?
No.
I didn't say that right. Pronunciation check.
Well, you win by guessing the correct murderer and murder weapon and the room in which the murderee was murdered.
So is there only one winner?
There's only one winner.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Everyone else is a loser.
Well, that doesn't make.
But in a real sense, we're all winners because we were having a good time with friends. Yeah. Except when it got competitive, and the knives started coming out.
Yeah, knives
Just
out.
kidding.
That's a different kind of murder.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But by the way, did you ever see Glass Onion?
No.
You said you went on a.
Might be watching it tonight.
Oh
actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went on a movie spree, but
yeah, that one's not on RG Movie Channel. So yeah. That's about the limit of
re-release
my abilities. Watch.
But yeah, play Clue. Was playing Clue with a self-proclaimed prolific cluer.
How do you get to that point?
I think you just how she said it was she played so much and won so much that everyone else refused to play with her.
Wow. Okay.
So not a glowing recommendation of oneself, but
yeah. Do you want to play Clue? No one else wants to. So
yeah,
manufacturing is about to go out.
No one else will actually play with me. Yeah. So to the point where she'll play like online Clue or like Clue mobile Clue.
Sure.
Which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah.
But
gambling some money, perhaps.
That was a fun game. Kind of basic, It's one of the more standard board games. In my opinion.
It's been a minute since I played, as could be told by the questions I was asking. I would say
definitely. There's a Clue movie.
I've heard it's good.
I heard it was terrible.
Oh well, we heard it from different people, probably.
I guess.
I don't know much about it. I'll say that.
I mean, I would assume you didn't know much about the game either.
Yeah, even know less about the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never seen it. Maybe I'll watch it. While you watch Knives Out or Glass Onion.
Yes.
Or Glass Onion and Knives Out mystery.
Yes.
I'll watch Clue, a board game mystery. We played a few other board games. None of which I'm remembering the name of now. But
should any of them be memorable? Were any of them good as well?
Yeah, they actually were. There was one which I think is what you were trying to describe before, where you kind of build out the game board
Oh, sure.
as you go.
That's fun.
It was kind of an exploration based um, game. It
Mm.
did have a bit of a twist though, where halfway through the game, my character was immediately killed, and I transformed into an evil monster that tried to kill the other players.
Oh, I think I've played this game.
That was cool.
Is it Betrayal at House on Hill?
That sounds right. Yeah,
Here we
it
go.
does sound right.
Fun game.
I turned into kind of a two-headed snake
Wow.
that the game said I was trying to sort of circle around the house and crush it from the outside. Kind of cool.
Okay.
Um, I did ultimately fail at that,
Sounds like a difficult
but
task. I'll
it,
say
it
that.
I that's what I'm saying, and it didn't really give me much of a chance.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
Mhm.
Played another game. Played Exploding Kittens, which sounds morbid,
Sure.
but
And it is.
it is.
Yes.
Um, that's sort of a card
That's
game.
also a fun game. Yeah.
So, just a lot of
Yeah.
fun game. Kids these days are all about the video games and the metaverse and all that fancy stuff. I just like some down to earth physical card games,
Exactly.
physical board games. Get these kids off their phones and off their podcasts and all that.
Makes me sick
And,
just thinking about it.
you know,
How do you feel about like being a saboteur in a
I love it.
game? You love it. You thrive on it.
I feel
And
like
and
it's
just
one.
games or in real life too.
Well, I can't speak to any legal or illegal real life activities,
Okay.
but in a game, I feel like that's a very appropriate and allowed setting to be a saboteur
Sure. To
and
live out your
or
dreams.
maybe the slang term of being a troll.
Okay.
Uh, it's
Yeah.
just it's like you can always fall back on hey, I'm trying to win. If you sabotage somebody,
Right.
it's like, well,
Like,
I'm just
Ryan,
trying to
you're
win.
you're being mean. It's
I
like, that's the game. That's
don't
not
hate the
me.
player, hate the
That
game.
is exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's also just fun in general,
Mm,
like for Exploding Kittens, that's a great game to be a saboteur.
sure.
You can, try to make someone explode their kitten. You can force them to, pick up extra cards, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that I don't have as much of a problem with that. I should start by saying I have a problem with this. No,
Okay.
but not with that. I'm talking about like specifically, maybe they're more accurately described as social deception games, where like you have to pretend to be good while also being the saboteur. Have you played games like
Oh,
these?
okay. We did play a game that was like that.
Yeah,
I think it was called Werewolf, although I'm not
sure.
entirely
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. That's a similar. Yeah, that's kind of like that concept.
I played, yeah, I played a number of games like
Yeah,
that.
Secret Hitler is another one that has an
Sure.
unfortunate name, difficult to recommend to people,
Definitely.
but follows that kind of format.
Um,
And those, how do you feel about those specifically?
I I've played a lot of them.
Mhm.
I think my friends would say I'm unnaturally good at them.
Okay, that's good to hear. Good
And
to know.
and that's a little concerning. Just, from kind of a psychological standpoint. I wouldn't say they're my favorite kind of game
Hmm.
because it feels to me at least like it's just the same thing over and over again. Like you're saying,
Yeah,
like
it is kind of like that.
somebody's
Yeah.
lying, somebody's not lying. Somebody's telling the truth. I know that I'm telling the truth, but that I'm lying to other people, maybe?
Yeah, and it feels like if you have the same group of people, it can kind of hit it at the same like
Sure.
strategies. Like if you find something that works or whatever, like you kind of just keep doing that.
Definitely. And this is why I had to stop playing Among Us with my friends
Okay.
because it's a similar kind of social deception game
Yeah, very similar.
with a more of a gameplay element tied in there.
Yeah, and they kept
And
killing you off, and that
and
was
they
pretty mean.
yeah, they kept killing me off. I said, guys, stop it. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah,
So
I'm quitting.
anyway,
I refuse to play Among Us with you. Yeah, I think my thing with it is that I just feel I'm not good at them. I'll say that.
Sure.
I'm not good at them. I don't.
I'm bad at lying. I'm a
Yeah.
bad liar.
Look, hey,
What's my biggest weakness? I'm a terrible liar.
I'm bad at lying.
If I was ever lying, you could tell immediately.
I could
because I'm
not
so
lie to
bad
you.
at it.
Yeah,
I would never lie to you.
so I'm sorry
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, I just like never know I just end up pretty much being a good guy. Like I'm like I get
defected.
so caught up with like not being seen that I end up just like
Sure.
helping out the good people like
Sure.
when I'm bad. And so it's like I don't think that's what you're supposed to do.
You fall too far into your role.
Yeah. I played one game. I think it's made by the same people who made Exploding Kittens. It's called Wombat Combat or something like that. Hand to Hand Wombat is what it's called. And yeah, you kind of have you're trying to work together with people to build these towers, but you're like blindfolded basically, or you have like one hand over your arm, and you try to build these towers. And I just did not know what to do. I just cannot. It even gives suggestions of what to do, and I don't know how to sabotage. I try to do that, it doesn't really work. So it's just those really aren't my games. It makes me feel stressed.
Sure,
for sure. And so I'm always like, please, just make me a good. Just make me a good.
I want to be good. I want to be a good boy.
So I'm not huge on those, but I will play them when forced. When everyone else is playing them, I'll go into social pressure, peer pressure. That's more what it is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that was a real fun time. I would totally recommend going there if you got $7 and a few hours to spare, because board games aren't short. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
life is
short, so make the most of it.
Yeah,
while you can.
So there's a board game cafe in Lincoln called Mana Games, and been there a couple times, and it's pretty good. I haven't been to Spielbound, but I don't know. I feel like I like Mana Games enough. Like if people are going, I'll join in because it's good enough time. But I feel like I don't know. It's like the environment is something's off about it. Like it just feels too much like I don't know, like a warehouse or something. It doesn't feel
too much like a warehouse,
like cozy, which I feel like is.
I'm getting real hipster vibes from this place.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the thing with board game cafes is that they should have a really good vibe to them, for lack of a better word.
Definitely.
That makes you want to go versus just like playing board games.
I would say most
at your
places, you don't want to give like an offsetting tone to your customers.
For sure.
Unless you're like haunted house maybe or something.
That is probably the main
one
thing.
exception.
I don't want a comforting haunting house.
No.
Maybe, but probably not. I mean, I do.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I warned you about before I started.
Well, that wasn't even off that. I just hit it.
That is a...
Anyway, I would like a comforting haunted house.
I'm sure you would.
But people in general do not. But my point is, with board games, like that's something that you have. Or
sure,
some people do. Very deep voice there. Whereas like it's not necessarily something that like you can't get anywhere else. I don't know. Certainly what do you mean you don't have all the games, right? They have advanced selection.
I definitely would imagine you don't have all the games.
Like here in the dorm, we've got a decent selection of board games. So it's like, why would we pay to go to the cafe versus go? Now, I also have never gotten anything from the cafe. So that would be another benefit, I guess, that I have not taken advantage. And that's on me. But interesting concept. I do like the concept in general because I feel like almost every social building in the city or anywhere is a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of provides another opportunity to bring communities together, as they would say in the urban planning class. Sure. I know a thing or two.
A nice walkable spot to bring.
I would like a walkable spot. Yes, I will do a walkability audit on the board game cafe. But anyway, that's my board game cafe thoughts.
I agree. Yeah, I haven't been the one in Lincoln. Maybe I'll go. I think the biggest thing for me is I don't know where to start. If I walk into a board game cafe,
a lot of options.
There's a lot of, it's overwhelming.
Paradox of choice.
It's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's like, and the other thing is, you choose, let's say, hey, you roll the dice, not literally because you don't have a game yet, but you go, we're not playing Yahtzee.
Right.
You go get a board game, you pick one out, you start playing. These aren't short games.
Yeah.
If this is a terrible game, or if it doesn't really make sense, you can quit halfway through, but then you're try to cut your losses, but you've already invested so much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a Monopoly financial game or something. And then you go and get a different game. And what if that's a bad game? Well, now you're 0 for 2.
That's a great point.
So I like to stick with what I know.
Which then kind
And
of limits the ability or the benefits of the cafe.
the replayability is definitely harmed there.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the good part about going with other people is they got their own, their own fan favorites.
Yeah.
By fan favorites, I just mean favorites.
Yeah. And that they are fans
of them.
Yep.
And, they've got their own games that they played a lot. And, Betrayer of the House on the Hill, I think.
Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Yeah, exactly what I said. Is a game that was recommended.
Yeah.
And it was fun. So
there you go. Yeah, they definitely should look into some recommendation systems just because the
sheer... And I might have had one. Well, and it's not that I asked, and it's not that I looked either. Yeah. So I'm not really sure where my complaint is coming from.
It's a bit on you.
But maybe if they made it more visible, more kind of user-friendly.
That's my thing with bookstores. I spent probably 3 hours in bookstores this week and didn't come out with any books. Did not buy anything.
Because you're doing something wrong.
Well, yeah. They certainly would think that. You go in, especially there's this local bookstore. I'm like, I would like to support them. But then I go in and they've got a lot of different books, which sounds great.
It does.
But I guess I'm used to a more curated kind of list, or like I guess what I realized as I was in there approaching my second hour was like a significant portion of the books that I find myself wanting to read are just referrals, like things that have been recommended to me or like found online.
You would like some sort of like curated algorithm that would pick out good books for you.
Something like
you
that.
Walk into a local bookstore and say, hey, how's your algorithm compared to the one down the street? And,
sure. Something like that.
A competitive factor for you.
So I'm like, why am I here? Just browsing. I mean, it is fun. You get to see different books. But then I'm like, I don't know if these are actually good.
You know what would be cool, but also alarming?
Okay.
From a privacy perspective, is if, this would be very alarming, and I'm certainly not endorsing this in any way because there are multiple drawbacks, but just, hypothetically and for the purpose of this conversation.
Yeah.
Say that you had, and in a way you already have this, but it's not as condensed as what I'm saying.
Okay.
A thumb drive or a USB or really just any device, even just your Apple Watch or anything like that, that just had your, I say your algorithm, that's not really a thing, but your instance of data that sort of describes you and your likes and interests, or even just as simple as like what books you like. And you could walk into a bookstore and say, yo, scan my algorithm.
Yeah.
And then they can find, here's books that we have that would match your interests or something.
Sure.
Could that be used to conduct mass surveillance on a population? Probably.
Yeah.
And probably already is in some capacity. But in terms of finding a good book, I can't think of a better way to do that.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I mean, again, I think ideally, like you could do the same thing with humans, and I just didn't. Like asking for the person at the front desk kind of recommendation you have. Be like, hey, what do you like? And then you could tell them. You could scan your interests to them verbally.
Scan your conversation.
But yeah, I don't know. It's something to think about. I will be thinking about it. Probably not, but maybe.
Nathan stole my idea and is going to start a startup.
I will be taking you on for millions.
Sure. That reminds me of, I was scrolling. Yes.
No, okay.
Well, in a way, as in it gassed me up, but not in the typical sense of the word.
Yeah.
And really what I just meant is that it excited me. I was scrolling through LinkedIn.
Okay.
If you're familiar with that tool, which I know you are. And there was a top 10 list of artificial intelligence tools that you need to check out immediately.
Okay.
So check them out. One of them was obviously, actually no. The headline was 10 artificial intelligence tools that you need to check out immediately besides ChatGPT, OpenAI.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So they're kind of going on the OpenAI train and say, here's some other cool things that you could check out.
These are things that anyone can see. It's not like you need to program these artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
algorithms.
these are tools that are available right now.
Yeah.
And there are a few on there that were like, photo editing tools or like kind of voice recording tools. But there was one that was a podcast editing tool.
Is it Descript?
It was not Descript.
Okay.
I forget exactly what it was called. It was like Clean Voice AI or something. I think it had clean in the title.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked great. It said it would remove filler words, which we don't have a problem with.
No, not at all. That's one of my strengths, I would say, is filler words.
That wouldn't be a problem for us, but also just remove dead air and
also not a problem.
Mouth noises, which we're fine with.
Definitely not a problem.
So in all, it looked good for less adequate podcasts than ourselves.
Less professional.
The one thing that didn't appeal to me was the pricing, which seemed like it was about $30 for 3 hours of podcast material a month. I might be getting those numbers completely wrong, but in any way, it just wasn't totally open to the pricing. But yeah, it looked interesting. I'm not sure how well it works, but from the little audio example they gave on their website, it seemed like it worked well. So
I mean, that sample,
I'm
sure
pretty
just
confident.
Randomly picked, but it went really well.
Yeah.
It went really well for them. Excellent. Well, maybe I'll check out those 10 and get back to it.
Great.
Sweet. Good stuff. Shall we call it there?
I think we shall.
All right. Episode 34 in the books. Never introed it, but it don't matter.
Nope.
Thanks for sticking with us. Drop a rating. If you are here from the interview day, welcome. And thanks for being here. Yeah.
Let us know how you like the new setup if you're watching on YouTube.
That's right. Oh, yeah. We got some advancements. Thanks. Shout out to Nicole or Alex?
Alex and Nicole, I think.
Oh,
maybe
tag team?
There was a couple of gifts, and I'm not sure which came from whom exactly. And I definitely used whom right. So thank you to the siblings.
Shout out.
These are huge. Her exact words were, "I'm tired of hearing you breathing."
Yep.
So I guess I'm going to stop breathing.
You and me both. Yeah.
So
I've stopped breathing for quite a while.
I'll cut that out.
Yeah. I will try to, again, continue on my streak of not laughing. Didn't go super great this episode, but
no,
we're trying.
You're going to work on it for sure.
Yes. Also, shout out to Ria for the keychains.
That's right.
Big fan. Big fan. All right. That's probably enough.
Cool.
See ya.
Nathan, I went to a...
What?
I'll start again. I'll try to keep it together.
Let's try, yeah.
Nathan, I...
Oh, no.
Okay. I think I've regained my composure.
I hope so.
That actually kind of hurt. Like,
He's
no
entered.
joke. No joke. I think I hurt myself. Nathan, I went to a...
That was on me.
That was all you.
That was on me. That was
all you, man.
That was on me.